Yo, 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 yo.
What's up?
What a mess. I got still such computer issues. But we're here. We're in the building. What's going on, everybody? It is another episode. We locked in on this orange and blue skies, talking everything New York Knicks. I don't do this by myself, the villain himself. I got Joe T in the building with me. Joe, what's going on, baby?
What's going on, Barry? How you doing, man? Happy Monday.
My computer is a wreck, but I'm good. I physically am doing great. I'm blessed and highly favored. You know what I'm saying? You're doing big things here, but it's good to see you. Listen, the Knicks had their annual West Coast road trip, their long road trip. You know, when the Garden's taken over by Big East basketball, the Knicks got to get out of town for a couple weeks and go pack a couple suitcases, and they came back. But they went 5-3 on their long road trip. Had some nice wins, had some ugly losses, impressive wins against Denver. But then they have lost, should have beat and they beat the Spurs, but they should have beat the Thunder. Had some bad losses there. Had that game we were talking about, the Lakers game, and everything kind of just culminated. But at the end of the day, Knicks, no harm, no foul, still the 3 seed out in the East, and doing their, come home and almost laid an egg against the Warriors without Steph Curry, without Draymond Green. Here we are. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, the West Coast trip, we call it the West Coast trip, but they started on the East and then went to the West. But talk to me, Joe. What did you see coming out of that long road trip?
Inconsistencies, man. I mean, as powerful as on paper the starting five is, and even like the bench, they get people could slot in and fill. Like Shamit's been slotting in really nicely. Then you
Mhm.
got some just questionable games. You're like, what's going on? You beat the Spurs, right? They got Wemby. They were at full strength, I believe, when we played them. And
Yeah.
then they lose to the Thunder by 3. That was if I remember correctly, Anunoby missed the game tying buzzer sent to overtime, right? And
Yeah.
then they just have some questionable games. Beat the Nuggets, right, with Jokic. I don't
They
know. And then
destroyed the Nuggets.
destroyed them
Destroyed the Nuggets.
142 to 103 or something like that. It was some crazy
Yeah, yeah,
score.
yeah.
I don't get this team yet. And I know we keep talking about it. I just don't get it. It's almost like two different. It's like yin and yang. You got both sides of the coin. It's like you got really good games and you got really bad games, which don't make sense because of the games before it. And they lose games that they should be winning. And against it scares me. It just scares me because it's like almost like we're playing down to the talent again, and below our talent level. So
Hmm.
I don't know, man. I'm a little nervous. Last night, honestly, to be honest with you, I was watching it and I was like, I'm disinterested, and I went to sleep and I woke up and they won by 3 points. And I was like, but it shouldn't even be that way. It shouldn't be down by 21 points and then come back to win it by 3. That's just bad basketball, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I should have been like you because I wanted to do the split screen. I had the World Series, World Baseball Classic on, USA and Dominican Republic. That was a really good game. And then I had the Knicks game on, but the Knicks were frustrating so much I couldn't turn away from them. I'm like, you guys should be winning this game. What are we doing? What are we doing? And
Mm-hmm.
we talk about it. They're inconsistencies. Like to your point, playing down to the competition, but they have these lulls where they play really good defense, and then they could play like the most horrific defense where nobody knows when to switch, nobody knows when to cover or get out to the 3 point shooter. I'm seeing like Cat, kind of like walking over to the guy at the 3 point line in the corner when you just rotate hard. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
what are we doing? But then you look up at this Knicks team, and this Knicks team is top five in offense and defensive efficiency.
Yeah,
Like that's what boggles my mind.
it's
Like they're top
baffling.
five, yeah, in offense. Offense, I expect Joe, right? But
Yep.
defense, they're top five in defensive efficiency. But then you look at when you watch the games, you're like, is this the same team? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Obviously the stats don't lie, but the what the picture is
Mhm.
lying about the stats. Like the stats are the
Yeah,
stats, but I'm not seeing that in the picture. It's not
right.
consistent at all. I mean, the only person who ever seems to show up defensively is Robinson. Maybe because they're not they have
Right.
that minutes restriction. Maybe because that's what his job is to come out there, rebound, and play defense. But he cares. Hart cares.
Hmm.
And Anobi can have some string of great games where he gets a lot of steals and he'll get hot, and then he'll have some games where he's not that hot. And then Bridges, I mean, the dude's supposed to be part of the wing stop, and now they're talking about, they benched him in the fourth quarter last night. They're talking about making a potential shakeup in the starting five. I don't know what that looks like. Mike Brown's talking about it, maybe. I don't know. Something. It's like it clicks for a little bit and then it unclicks just as fast, and in the weirdest ways against the teams that you don't think
Right.
it should happen with. So I don't know. I'm at a loss, to be
Right.
honest.
I'm at a loss too because I don't think Bridges being benched or going to the second unit is the answer. I think he needs to be out there. He's not the scorer we hoped he would be, but he doesn't need to be that guy. He could be the third or
Yep.
fourth scorer on this team. But the defense, and I think he kind of gets exposed. I think we talked about it after the All Star break. He's a guy that is a really plus defender, but when you got two minus defenders in Brunson and Carl Anthony Towns, he gets not exposed, but he gets pushed to too many points. He has to cover a lot more space than he should have to. And Ananobi has to cover a lot more space than they have to because they have to play their man and then they have to play the half man on the other side to make
Yep.
up for Brunson or make up for Carl Anthony Towns. So it's like his defensive prowess, his the ways that he plays defense and he really gives you value is kind of left out because the offense on the other side really schemes around getting him out of position and getting him off of his bread and butter. So what he's good at defensively, we can't take advantage of because two guys are just inefficient on defense. I mean,
That's a good
so
point.
yeah, I mean that's kind of what I see. I think it's a cop out to put him in the second unit. I don't think that fixes it. It might
No, I
fix
don't
it
think.
because
Yeah,
of guys.
I
If
agree.
it might fix it because of Brunson and Cat, but like he's a guy that you need it
I
down the
agree.
stretch.
I agree. I also think, man, I'm been thinking about this for a while, and I read it a couple times, and we probably talked about it. Mike Brown's not running plays, if I remember correctly. He's like free
Mm-mm.
flowing offense. He's not running plays. So you got a lot of
Right.
guys who are, except for Anunoby, he wasn't really the alpha dog in the Raptors. He was always the defensive guy. But Bridges on the
Mhm.
Nets was the guy. Brunson, came to be the guy. Cat was the guy. So you have all these guys, and they're not running plays for anything. Maybe they're getting lost. Maybe they're
Mhm.
like, when am I going to get my touches? In the back of their head, there's no plays being run. They're just out there kind of trying to do their thing, which it's working to an extent. The stats don't lie in terms of number 5 and offensive rating, but I don't know when it doesn't look good. It really doesn't look good. It's just weird. So maybe there has to be something done with like maybe let's get a little play calling going here, so we have like more of a camaraderie. If we all know what we're doing at any given point in the floor. I don't know. Just a thought.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I feel the free flowing kind of it lends to Brunson, but then I hate seeing Brunson ball dominant, really going one on one. I hate the one on one offense. I know that's the NBA. Oh, they're in their bag, their bag. Like, dude, that's not offense. That works down the stretch when you need to get a bucket. When you're up to or down to. But when you're trying to run offense and you're trying to get, to your point, everybody involved, that doesn't work for me, right? Like I
Yep.
feel like the ball needs to move, it needs to free flow the defense gets a break when it's just Brunson operating one-on-one ball, and I don't think that works to our advantage. I think we need to move the ball around, keep the defense moving, and keep them at a point where they have to cover all five guys, the full half court, and them running around. So that just gives us an easier shot. So I feel like there's just an opportunity that this offense is missing. Even though to our point, they're top five in offensive efficiency. Like, make it make sense. Make
Yeah,
it.
it doesn't. You're right. It doesn't. I mean, you look at who's number 4. Who's number 4 through 1? I don't even know. Like, I'd
I
love
don't
to
even
do a.
know.
I would love to do a quick comparison and see like what do they got that we don't have. I don't even. It's a good thing. I didn't think about it. But like,
Yeah,
I mean, I bet the Thunder is probably top 5 easily. Thunder's
yeah.
got to be top 5.
I mean,
Um,
I would imagine. I mean, God. I mean, should they be? I mean, I feel like uh, you know, watching them. Um, I gotta say, they all they do is shoot free throws, man. Like they drive me crazy. I can't watch that. I can't watch them. So what I'm seeing right now, if I'm looking at this correctly, I think these are last year's stats. So hopefully this is not this. No, this is this year's stats. I think what we have right now are the Denver Nuggets,
Okay.
Boston, New York, San Antonio, and let's see. I have to check that, guys. When you got the point Jokic out there, he thing. And then Boston, Boston kind of it bothers me a little bit because all they do is shoot threes. I mean, but when they're hitting that threes, they're efficient, right? You know what
Boston
I'm saying?
overachieved. They
Um,
overachieved with Tatum being out. So more power to them. I don't like Boston, but they definitely overachieved without Tatum. Oh,
but Boston's a dangerous team, right? Like, I mean, honestly, I think Detroit. Obviously, we haven't beat them all year, so we got to put respect on. But even though we've handled Boston, they worry me because all the pieces that they lost, they're still right there, and they got the experience too. They can make a run in this playoffs. I think it's going to be about can can Tatum handle a playoff schedule, right? I think the Knicks can. We have the horses. We're deep. We can go at least 10 players deep, and that helps us, right? That's why I don't worry too much about how the Knicks look right now, but I worry because at this point in the year, when you got about 14 games left in the season, you should have figured this out by now. We
yep.
shouldn't be having this right now. We should be talking about how good we're looking heading into the playoffs, how excited we are. We shouldn't be like, I don't know about this team. This team worries. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
it's frustrating from that perspective.
I agree. I feel like I'm in like the December questioning mindset of like this is stuff to your point should have been figured out October, November, December, not March 14th, 15th, 16th. It's a
So. Hmm.
little late in the game to have these things pop up that are fundamental issues on some level because you can't show up for
Hmm.
work one day and play well and then show up in the next day and be like what happened the day before? Where are you? I don't know. And it's not just like one person. I feel like a couple people have been questioned this year. Cat's been questioned for not showing up. Bridges have been called out by Stephen A. Smith and all those
Oh
people
yeah.
on First Take for not showing up. They never questioned Brunson, but they questioned the defensive
Hmm.
liability all the time, right? So there's all these questions and tags around these players this season, and it's kind of troubling. And the more you think
Hmm.
about it, you're like, what? Why? Like what? Just there's got to be something. Something's lacking. We weren't. I can guarantee you this. We probably wouldn't have been talking this way last year around this time with the Thibodeau team because I think he would have held guys accountable. He would have ran them off the floor. You're not playing. I know Mike Brown's did a little bit with Bridges and benching people and Cat and benching people, but I don't know. There's something lacking. There's something missing. There really is something missing. That like aha moment. That wow thing that you're missing to get that team over the hump. I just feel like they're not. They get right to the hump, and they're almost there, and then they fall back a little bit. It's like pushing water up a hill. It's just rolling backwards.
I know. It's like honestly, I'm looking at this team, and to your point, last year we weren't having this conversation. The only conversation we were having last year is can we make it through a playoff series? Like they were going to be worn down, run ragged, all that stuff, and I don't know which one is better, the team that's deep that everybody plays, or the team last year that were seven guys deep and Thibodeau was running us into the ground. So
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
I kind of think like this is what you get when you play a lot of different pieces. You get
Hmm.
that continuity sometimes is a little lacking, and guys aren't really comfortable in their roles because guys are in different roles. As games go to games because Jordan Clarkson is a guy that wasn't in the lineup, and they desperately needed him a few games on the West Coast, especially in that Utah game. And he scores 27 points in 26 minutes, something like that. Went
Yeah, and he hadn't
crazy,
played in
and
like a lot of time. He hadn't played in a long time.
he hadn't played in almost a month, over a month,
Yeah.
and
We
then
got
he
the
comes
coach's
in. I mean,
decision. Yeah.
that's a testament to him. How good he is coming off the bench, not playing, but always staying ready, always staying prepared. Comes in and scores 27 off the bench, and now he's giving them valuable minutes. Gave him valuable minutes last night against the Warriors too. So that's a guy like you probably wouldn't have played last year in Thibodeau's rotation, right? Like Landry wouldn't have played in that Pacers series if people didn't start getting hurt. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
I that's kind of what I'm looking at. Like, which one is better? There's no in between with Mike Brown and Thibodeau, right? You had, like I said, two extremes. So um, but I like Clarkson now. He's in the rotation, getting minutes. Shohan's not going to get the minutes. But the first guy off the bench is Dara. Like,
Yes.
and he deserves to be the first guy off the bench. This kid is playing some really good basketball. He's a stretch four that can guard, 3 through 5, and is hitting shots. It's not like a fluke. He's hitting shots and he's making
Yep.
plays on the offensive end, and he's active hands on the defense. So, are you surprised he's the first guy off the bench? Like, because he was the first guy off the bench last night in the first quarter.
I am because I mean he's still pretty young, right? He's like
Yeah,
what was he 19 or 20? He's not
he's a
even
baby.
he's not that old, but he's playing a grown man's basketball game right there. I mean, he had a sick dunk on his
Mhm.
idol, right? Did he like jam it over what's his name
Yeah.
from the French team? Oh my God, it's on the tip of my
Uh,
tongue. Uh
it wasn't
oh
Gobert, was it? No, it was
no, Batum, Nicholas Batum. He
Batum.
had
Yes,
that
yes.
throwdown on his idol. I mean, he's been playing some good basketball. He's hitting threes, right? He's been hitting a bunch of threes.
Mhm.
He's been efficient. He's playing the defense, so I'm liking it. I mean, I can't think of the last young guy or young talent we had that has shown up this quickly and has been consistent. You get flashes of it, right? But it's been pretty consistent. So to your point, like I like the future for this kid. I do. I really do. Um, Kolek, I feel like played great in the cup, right? He had that coming out, but then he hadn't played
Mhm.
for a while. Same with Clarkson. I kind of feel like a lot of different players in this team have had their lulls and have had their coaches' decisions not played, but he has
Mhm.
not. Diawara's been playing consistently and he has shown up, so I like it. I do like it.
And I think he's getting minutes that Bridges probably would have taken because I think he's hitting more shots than Bridges. He's in, not that he's more active on the defensive end. I think they're pretty much the same on defense, but he's hitting shots Bridges isn't hitting. So
Yep.
you don't mind giving him more minutes and being he's the first one off the bench. Him, then it's his Landry, then and Robinson. Those are the first three really off the bench, and then you got Grand Theft Alvarado coming off. So that's 9 guys, right?
Yeah.
But they're all getting minutes. They're playing valuable minutes, and I really like his energy. He's just because I think to your point earlier, the Knicks played down the competition and they lack energy on
Hmm.
defense. You could tell. I know you didn't watch the game last night, but last night the Warrior game was really telling that the Warriors, it's those little things, getting to loose balls and stuff, but really active in the passing lanes, active to get to the ball, to loose balls, but moving around on defense, closing out hard on 3-point shooters, getting to the back, everything, the little things that they look to step faster than the Knicks did, right? And then once the Knicks realized that this wasn't a game, then they had the active hands. Then they got active on defense in the third quarter. But Daria plays with that the whole game. As soon as he gets off the bench, he's active. Now, sometimes he fouls a little bit too much. He's got to watch that, but he's active and he closes out hard. He just does everything you want of a guy off the bench to bring that energy. And that's why I'm surprised he's getting the minutes, but I'm not surprised because when he's out there, it's a plus minus that he's just playing good basketball and he
Yeah,
fits
he
right
is.
in. You know what I mean? So I love what I see from him. I'm be curious to see, okay, when the bright lights are on in the playoffs, how he responds to it.
Yep.
But he hasn't done anything to tell me that he doesn't belong out there and that he shouldn't get those minutes that he's getting right now.
I agree. If you're playing well, I don't care how old you are, how much experience you have. If you're doing winning basketball plays, the intangibles, the little things you're talking about, you deserve to be out there, man. It's how you earn your spot. He probably does it in practice too. Brown sees it and
Mhm.
he's giving him a shot. I mean, that's what you want players to do. You want them to be competitive amongst the team to earn those
Mhm.
minutes because you want them to be competitive on the floor. I mean, it's their job. That's what they're supposed to be doing. They're getting paid a lot of money to do it. So when they show up to a game last night and go down by 21, you're like, what are we doing here? Like, let's go. I know you're athletes. I know you're tired, but you got a job. I mean, if I showed up to a job and in front of my boss just slacked off and lost cause, that'd probably get in trouble, you know? So I
Yeah.
mean, you got to show up. You got to do it. He does it. He
And
deserves the minutes.
he deserves the minutes. And like to your point, like there's no reason why you should be down 21 points at home in the Garden against a team without Steph Curry and Draymond Green. That's what's bothersome, right? Because you watch a game like they totally dismantled the Nuggets. And
Hmm.
we and I text you, I was like, this is the game that drives me crazy. It really does. Like watching them beat the Spurs is the game that drives me crazy because they, like we said, I said in a video that we had that I posted on the socials, and I talked to you about it before I even posted the video. I was like, this team can beat anybody and they could lose anybody, and it's
Yep.
so frustrating. And you got to be a little bit more. No, pause. You have to be more consistent in the playoffs because you can't just give up games like that. Games are precious, especially if you don't have home court advantage. Those are little games you can't lose. You can't get down 21 points and think that your offensive efficiency is going to get you back in the game and your defensive efficiency is going to win you back the game. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you. And you can't have that mentality against the Pistons or the
Mm-hmm.
Magic or any of those teams in the East that are playing really well right now. The Cavs, like, don't sleep on the
Mm-hmm.
Cavs either, man. Like, you can't have that. They're not gonna
Yeah,
give you. They're gonna want to win. They they
they
they they
want it.
smell blood and water. They're gonna try to bury you, and you don't want to
Right.
be coming out of a hole, down 2 games to none, and then expect to show up and win the next four. I mean, it's very impossible. So that does worry me, man. To your point, it does.
It does because you look at like the Hawks are playing great back. They won like nine straight or something like that. Look at the Hornets. Like we talk about it on our main show, the Total Sports Show. Sirius and Coach talk about how well the baby Hornets are playing. They have been since the rookie. I forget his name, but since he was in the lineup, they've only lost 4 games with that kid in the lineup. They're playing tremendous basketball, putting it together at the time of year where you want to be putting it together. And that's what we should be talking about with the Knicks, right? And we're
Yep.
going around in circles, but it's all the same thing. Like really this Knicks team can beat anybody, they could lose to anybody, and we don't have the time for I don't have the patience for them. Because I mean part of me is in that college basketball mode, lose or go home, right?
Yep.
So like if we lose a game, you're done in college basketball. So every game right now to me in my mind is precious, but we can't afford to not play good basketball and give up games. You know what I mean? We got a tough stretch of games I think coming up, right? We got we don't have a tough stretch. We got the Pacers, we got the Nets, we got the Wizards games we should win, the Pelicans, right? And then we see the Hornets, we see the Thunder, we see the Rockets, right? So we
Yep.
should be able to get fat now we should be able to get fat on these teams that we should beat, like the Pacers at home. We go to Brooklyn, but that's like a home game. We show up to, to the Barclays Center, right? And
Yep.
then we have the Wizards and we have the Pelicans at home. So we should be able to get those wins under our belt. Teams that really have nothing to play for but draft picks. So we got to take care of business. And one thing, Joe, and I'll let you chime in on this too. One thing that the announcer said when the Knicks started getting down that game last night, the Warriors game was a game where your starter should only play a max of 3 quarters. They played a hard 4 quarters to get that win. That
Yeah.
makes a difference.
It does make a difference because now you got tired legs, and now to your point, that team was undermanned. You should have you to your point. You should have put them to bed early to get your rest. Right now you
Mm-hmm.
didn't. Now you stretch those guys out. Now they're tired, and now they got to come back and do another game with after expending all the energy just to win by
Mm-hmm.
3 points. I mean, I don't know, man. It seems like a waste of energy and a waste of resources to do that. I don't know if they should have just called the game when they were down 21, but I'm glad they won. But I don't know, man. Like it's weird. It's just weird. It's weird.
If
And
it's
then
frustrating.
let's hope we beat some of these teams. I mean, the Pacers have beat us before. The last time we played them, the time before the last time, we
Hmm.
lost to them, and it's
Right.
almost like they wanted to prove that them winning against us last year and knocking us out wasn't a fluke. I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly. They always want to play hard. They played hard against us last time before we finally put them away. But
exactly.
we're two games behind in the loss column of Boston. We can't afford to lose games like that Warriors game, right? We're
I agree.
matched up in the win column, but we're 2 games behind. So we're 1 game behind in the standings, but we're 2 games in the loss column. We got to make up games and quickly. So to get that 2 seed, we want to get that 2 seed, and Detroit's not out of reach. 5 games back, we go on a heater and they lose. They've been losing some games here and there, showing their youth a little bit. I think we're not far ahead of too far ahead of the Cavs. We're 2.5, but if we're gonna make a move to that 2 seed, which we should be, this is the time to do it. You know what I mean? So
We
um,
got the
these
games. We
games
got the favorable schedule for sure.
Yeah, we got one of the easier schedules down the stretch, right? Like I said, and I'm going through it on my phone because my computer is a mess right now. Sirius is laughing at me in the background. I
Yeah,
can
no, we
see
got we got
him.
Pacers tomorrow. We
Yep.
got Nets on Friday, Wizards on
Hmm.
Sunday, Pelicans
Hmm.
Tuesday, Hornets Thursday, and then we got the Thunder again a week from this Sunday. So we got a
Right.
good stretch of teams that we should be able to beat. And most of
Yeah.
these teams we've beaten before this season, like
Right.
a bunch of times. So we should be able to
Right.
do it, man. We
Right. And
should.
then we
And we
play
end
the
March with
Thunder.
the Rockets.
Right. We got the Thunder. We got the Hornets. This is not going to be an easy game. The Hornets are a 500 team, but they're playing really good basketball, like I said. On the Thunder, the Rockets, and then in April we got the Grizzlies. That's we should be able to beat them. There's no pushover games when the Knicks are involved, right? That's
Yep,
why
that's
my blood
true.
pressure is high. My blood pressure is sky high because of the fools, right? But we got the Grizzlies, we got the Bulls, we got the Hawks. We face the Celtics, which could be a big game for us. Raptors and Hornets. So listen, I think the hardest part of the schedule is that little 3 game window, but then we kind of ease into it, and those are the games we should win. We should win handily. Rest our guys. Rest Cat. Rest Jalen. Get them ready for the playoffs. Rest Bridges if you need to, an OG, and get ready for the playoff series. Right now, right if we stayed at the 3 seed, the season ended right now. We would be matched up against the Raptors, who we've beaten this year. So,
We beaten. Yep,
um, so that's a a game that's a series that we should win. You never know.
I agree.
I saw some bum out there talking about, oh, here come the Sixers. If the Sixers match up against the
Oh,
Knicks, it'll be a
stop.
problem. I was like, get lost.
No
Like
way.
Sixers, get out of here.
No way, man. Embiid playing like every other month or something like that at this
Yeah,
point? Like,
exactly. Get lost.
stop. Stop. Paul
He's
George
gonna.
is
He's
not
gonna.
PG-13 anymore. He's like G. He's not
Yeah.
this is not the same guy. He's not.
General
He's great.
audiences, right?
Yeah, it's just not the same, man. Maxi's fantastic, but I mean,
Yeah,
outside of
and
that,
that rookie too. That rookie too. They got. He's really good too.
yeah, but it's not the
Who's that?
same team.
Who's that rookie they got in Philly?
I forgot his
Um,
name.
I forget his name. I
Oh,
gotta pull it
Edgecombe?
up.
Edgecombe?
Yeah, Escombe.
VJ
Escombe.
Edgecombe. Yeah.
Yeah, unbelievable. That kid can play. They got something in that kid. So they got a nice 1-2 punch. Now if they can get rid of Embiid.
Yeah. It ain't
So
happening.
no, it ain't happening.
They ain't
They
doing
paid him.
anything.
They paid him
Barry,
too much money.
did I tell you, Barry, my Tom Thibodeau story the last couple of weeks?
Well, you told me you saw him. You told me you saw him. But you tell the folks, tell the good people out here, our sports city. Not for. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
it kind of goes along what we're talking about. So I
I
kind of
know.
feel like I
I
kind of
know.
feel justified in what I said. So
Yeah, people out there, in the execs out there. Sirius is gonna be really mad at me. He's gonna want to
yeah.
edit this whole show. Whole show. Now the execs. Go ahead.
So I was out to lunch in Greenwich, and I was at a restaurant. I'm not going to name the restaurant. And I go sit down, and I'm talking with the people at the table. and I look to my left and I catch a glimpse and I'm like, get out of here. And I'm like,
Mhm.
that's not who I think it is. And it was Tom Thibodeau. He was with two other gentlemen. I couldn't, put the names, the faces. One looked familiar. The gentleman's back was to me. So I'm talking to the guys at the table. I'm like, you guys know who that is over there? And they're like, no. I'm like, it's Tom Thibodeau, coach of the Knicks from last year. Like, get out of here. Right. So I waited. I didn't want to bother his lunch. He was in a nice restaurant, but I'm like glancing over once in a while. He's just doing his thing. And I got up into my meal and I just walked over. Like, I'm sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to shake your hand. And I said, the defense has not been the same, man. The defense has not been the same. He laughed and he said, thank you very much. I went my way, went his way. But to my point and to our point, sometimes the
Mhm.
defense has not been the same, man. So I'm kind of feel
Yeah,
justified that I said that because it's complete night and day sometimes.
it,
So
it is night and day. I don't
yeah,
know if it's the scheme, bro. Like I really don't know if how to pinpoint it. I don't know if it's the scheme. It's not the body. It's the same people.
same people.
Maybe yeah. It's usually probably how they're divvying up the assignments and who how they want to do the rotations. I think they do a lot of switching, and then they do a lot of not trapping but really back rotations and like to rotate the shooters and everything. Everybody has a different philosophy of how to do it, so it's not the same. Maybe it's not working, maybe it is, who knows. But
Time
I
will
don't
tell.
yeah, like I think honestly in a 7-game series, I think the Knicks can figure it out. I think they can put series together. They got to put a couple together, right? Um they really have to get the defense sorted out. They have to figure out by matchup, like if like so like let's say, if the season started like ended right now, it would be the Raptors. I think that's a little bit of an easier matchup because I don't see like a dog on the wing that could
I
really
don't. Yeah.
take over the game for the Raptors. But like if you did have the Sixers and Maxey wasn't hurt and he was playing, he's a guy that can light it up, and that might be a guy on the wing that could give them issues, right? That
Yep.
can give them a lot of trouble. I think Orlando is playing a lot better basketball. Obviously, they got dogs on that team. Um, I'm just like,
Is Suggs still hurt? Is Jalen Suggs still hurt, or he's back? I can't remember
um, not sure. I think he's.
because
I don't know.
he
I
got
think
hurt like a month or so. I can't remember, but like
yeah, I know
those
he.
guys, they play hard defense, man. And like Suggs is a good defender. Bancaro's just a beast.
Yeah,
Wagner, I mean, those
yeah.
guys are in general. It's a good team.
You got Bain, you got Wagner or Banchero. Like that's a tough team. Suggs is back. Seriously, gave me a message. He's back. Thank
There
you,
we go.
Sirius. So that's a tough team. But at the 5 seed, they're probably didn't they play Cleveland last year as the 5 seed or something like that? They played Cleveland in the series last year. So and that went 7. That went the whole way. That was a really good series. So be interesting to see what they do. But um, yeah, I mean honestly, that's a team with guys in the wing, just like Cade Cunningham for the Pistons that can give the Knicks issues. So
Yeah,
it's all about the matchup. I think the right now it's the favorable matchup, but really at the end of the day, I want the 2 seed to secure home court for the first 2 rounds and then take our chances against Detroit. I really feel like Detroit was unbeatable until the last month or so. I haven't seen really good basketball out of Detroit right now. Like I got to be honest with you. Like who they lost some they played some better competition. Don't get me wrong, but they lost. They got handled by the Spurs. The Cavs beat them. They lost a bad game a week or two ago to the Nets at home. That's a bad loss.
that is
You
a
know what I
bad
mean?
loss.
The Heat handled them pretty well. They came back and beat the Pistons, beat them by almost 40, and then they beat the Sixers by over 20. But like there was a stretch of games where Pistons look beatable. They look like they can get handled. The Raptors beat them. So they're not like they're playing good basketball, but they're not playing like their best basketball like they were playing earlier in the year. So I think to that point, like Cade Cunningham has to do a lot on that team on
He
the
does.
offensive side. He carries a lot of the burden. And if you figure out how in the 7 game series, you're going to figure out how to really take your best player away. And you have that's what you have to do. You have to like the when the Knicks get in trouble, like especially against the Pacers, the Pacers figured out how to take Brunson out of the equation. And they said, all right, somebody else has to beat us, but you have to figure out a way to get somebody else to beat us.
Yeah, they stuck TJ
Knicks,
McConnell on him.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, he's a pest that has
Yeah,
high energy and really handled Brunson full court. And by the time he got to half, like, across half
he's
court,
tired.
12 seconds on the clock
Yeah,
and really get into the offense. So it's a strategy. It worked, right? So it's something that, in the playoffs, the teams are going to figure out how to take Cade Cunningham and what he does best out of the equation and say, well, you got to do something else. Do the Pistons have what it takes? Do they have guys on the other side that can really say, okay, Cade's not doesn't have it tonight. Can I step up? Can I take some of that burden? I don't know if they got guys. They got horses that can do that.
you might be right, man. I mean, I'm excited to find out. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to. We're not going to face in the first round, obviously. But I mean, I'm trying to think who I would want in the first round. I don't know. I think I want the Raptors. I think that would be a good matchup. I like to see
Mhm.
us face some former Knicks, right? In Barrett and
Yeah,
quickly. That'll be a fun
quickly.
matchup.
Yeah,
Um, I think that's what I'd want. I think that's what I want. Now, I also read, not to change something, I read some stat just to add to what we were talking about. When we beat the Spurs, right? The Spurs had come off on, like, what was it, 14 games? They won 13 out of the 14, right? And then
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the one game they lost was to us, right? You
Right,
looked at
right, right.
all of the teams they beat. It's all the teams that we were getting beat by. They beat the Pistons. They beat all those teams. So if we could beat the Spurs, who were beating all those teams, like, there's just, it doesn't. We should be able to do it, man. We should be able to do it. Like
Yeah,
we got to. I think we will. We got so no one's gonna say this was a successful season with all those stats if we get a second round exit. They're not. So we
no,
just got to show up and do it.
you can't have a second round exit this year, bro. We went to the Eastern Conference Finals, which was I think we not got spoiled, but like we hadn't been there in over 25 years, bro. Like
Yeah.
I was in college, bro. I was in college when we last went to the
Yeah.
Eastern Conference Finals. We suffered through a lot, through Isaiah Thomas. We suffered through
Oh my
some
God.
horrible ups, and finally got to that finals. And I don't want to I never take it for granted. I know you didn't either. We were ecstatic about it, but we honestly feel like this team, if you don't get to the finals, it's a bust. It really is.
Yep.
And especially the way everything kind of netted out for them. Like we can't accept anything worse than that. We can't accept anything other than if we get to the finals and lose in 7 games, I'll be pissed.
I
I
would be
still
too.
be
No, I'd be too. I want. Do you think they would make a shakeup at that point, given the bar set very high? I feel like if they didn't do something right, if we fail that bad, they'd have to. Otherwise, they look like they got egg in their face, man. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean that's when you're making that call to Milwaukee, be like, what do you want? You know what
Exactly.
I mean?
Pretty
Like
much.
honestly, like if we make it to the finals, we have the talent to make it to the finals. We make it to the
We do.
finals, I think you bring this team back and maybe tweak one thing or two. But if you fall short, if it's a first round exit, oh my god,
Yeah. Well, I don't think
or
it
a
will be.
second,
I don't think it will, though.
exactly. But like if something catastrophic like that happened, they're making a call. They're making a
Yeah.
call,
I mean,
and
I
I
think
wouldn't.
I think something's happening over the summer, regardless, man. I think they were smart to wait it out, right? Why give up when you could probably get him for a more favorable package? I think something's happening. I really feel that he's gonna, over the summer, wanna get out, and he's gonna
Mhm.
make it known. He's not gonna do it now. He don't want to. He don't wanna look like the villain. He does not want to look like the
Yeah.
villain. I know you do, Barry the
No,
villain, but he don't want to look like the villain.
no. I mean, Giannis don't want to be the bad guy. He. If anything, his heart is there. His heart is in Milwaukee. He doesn't. I don't think he wants to leave Milwaukee. It's comfortable for him. It's a good city. They've embraced him. He's embraced Milwaukee. He's like a second son there. But
Yep.
like, if the team can't put a team together around your superstar, then what are we talking about?
Correct. He wants to win, man. He wants to win. He wants to win. He's in his prime. He's got a lot more basketball left in the tank. He wants to win. So I think
Mhm.
if he's going to ask out, I think I have this feeling, man. I'm
Yeah,
hoping. I'm hoping it happens for us in the summer because if we get that, we don't have to give up a lot of stuff for him. We still got our
yeah.
core. I mean, watch out, man. Watch out.
Just think about it. Like you, I mean, we don't know that feeling, but like when these guys, like, I think it's the 8 years has been a new champion, right? So
Yep.
every time these guys win their first chip, they want that second one. Like one is good, but it's a drug. It's a high. Tatum said it. Giannis said it. I mean, Jokic said it. Like and now the Thunder said it. Like when you get that first chip, it's a high, man. It's a drug. It's addictive. You want it again. And like, you're not satisfied. You're not content with one, especially when you're in your prime. So I don't see him, coming out saying, "Oh, I wanted, if I don't win another one, I'm happy I got." No, they want another. He wants another one,
Hmm.
and he thinks he can do it in New York. And I think he can too.
I
But
think you can.
yeah, there's a lot to do to get that done. But I mean, really, this team right now we're focused on. I think if you're top five in offense and defense efficiency, you shouldn't have to make that big kind of trade. You should be able to do what you need to do. And honestly, I feel like we have what we need. We have a good team. We have a good core. I feel like we have those lulls. I think in the playoffs, I think they're waiting for the playoffs too. And we've seen it before. Teams that kind of play down a little bit down the stretch. I think they're just waiting to get into playoff mode. I think it's a different animal. It's a different type of focus. You're playing that same team for 2 weeks, pretty much. You're locked in on that game plan. You're locked in on that team, and I think not like they're like sleepwalking, but like, all right, when do the playoffs start? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I kind of get that kind of feeling.
Mm. It's possible, man. I mean, how many more games left? 14 around there. It's
Yeah,
possible.
14, 15.
Listen, if we don't get to 50 wins, we have need 6 games to get to 50. Like that, I would consider that terrible. We can't be
Oh yeah,
under
we'll get
50
there.
wins. I don't even
We'll
know what
get
we're
there.
projected. We're
What was
supposed to
the
go
over
50.
under this year? What was the
I
over
don't
under
even
this
remember. It has to be 50 at least, right? Like at least 50
Yeah,
win
I thought it was
season.
52. I think
Might be
I
52. You're
gotta
right. I mean, I think
I
we
gotta
could
look.
win 8 games on the next, 14 or whatever it is, because we rattled off some of those
Mhm.
teams. We should be able to beat a lot of those bottom feeders. But yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's 52 and a half, Aaron has mentioned. So
yeah. Did he say? Yeah, Aaron's in the background helping us out. 50, he thinks though. He doesn't know. He's a Rocket fan. What do they know? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. 50, 53 and a half is right there because honestly, there's some games that we can win, some games we can lose. So you never know.
I hear you.
Um, yeah, but yeah, we got it. We got to get to it. We got to get it. Um,
I agree. We're not gonna
yeah.
get
I
to it
mean,
if we keep limping through these games though. But
no, we won't. And I think like I said, take care of the teams you're supposed to take care of right now. Give the guys that you know that's going to need the rest or going to need to space it out, like Robinson. Give them a little bit of time. So you got you need Robinson down the stretch in the playoffs. He's super important. He gives you invaluable minutes. You need Cat and Brunson healed up, not healed up, but rested, well
yeah,
rested, right?
I agree. I agree. We need Robinson his free throws.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Okay. I
dude,
mean, I think I can hit a little bit more free throws than he can, but I honestly, we got to get the pieces right. We got to get them rested. I mean, OG and Bridges and everybody just and I think Hart was dealing with a little
yeah,
injury.
knee
He didn't
soreness.
play. Yeah,
Yeah,
he played. He didn't play. He played
he played.
last
Did
night.
he play yesterday? He played.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did. He did.
he was
He
out
didn't
two
play
games
the
before
night
that.
before. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Like little things like that. That's why blowouts, like they're fascists, but like they're important. He gives guys rest. Then Cole can get on the court and get some minutes and get the feel of the ball in his hand. It's just in case you do need him. So it's important. But I don't know. I think obviously the next 4 games we got to get these wins. Start piling up some wins, getting some momentum going. Because as frustrated as we are, the Knicks are still a 44 win team, 44 and 25.
Yep.
We're right there. You know what I mean? And it's funny because we the one game we lose, we're like so super frustrated. Like, oh my god, what are we doing? What are we doing? But you know what? We're right there. We are right there.
It's good
Um,
perspective. Good perspective.
Somebody's had to because I see Knicks fans like going crazy. You listen to the fan. I don't listen to the fan anymore. I can't take it anymore. I can't take it. But it's like the sky is falling. Get rid of this guy. He's a bum. Get rid of Mike Brown. Why did we bring him here? Like I get it. It's different. Tear up about it, bro. Like seriously. Um, it could be a lot worse. Like, do you not remember like Carmelo's last couple years here? Do you
Mm,
not remember what we had? Amari Stoudemire hitting the fire glass and cutting his hand open. Like, do you
I
not
remember that.
remember that? Do you not
Yep.
remember like being down 0-3 to the Heat, and then you get that one little game win, and the Garden's going crazy when um what my man doing the reverse dunk, and everybody thought we were going, and then we got lost the next game. We're done. Like we're a long way from those games, like from those days, right? So
Yep.
I mean, like it could be a lot worse. It could be.
It could be. You're right. You're right. I like the perspective, man. Listen, I'm still hopeful. I still like this team. I still believe, right? Want to believe. Just gotta show me something when it's supposed to count, though. Show me
I know.
something.
I know exactly when it counts. Show me something. Like I want my team to be not indestructible, but I want to show up in all games, beat the teams down that we're supposed to beat, and then when we play the good teams, like all right, yeah, we can hang with these guys. That's what I expect. You know what I mean? At the very least.
100%.
Um, but we'll see. I mean, coming down the stretch, you get those games, and then in the playoffs, we'll make hay. Like we should be in the. I think we should be in the 2-3. I don't see us falling back to the 4. Like I think last year we
Yeah, I
were
don't think we
worried
do that.
about falling back to the 3 or something like that. I don't think we're going to fall back that far. Cleveland is a dangerous team. To your point, I think they do some things that we really sorry. And like they really they got some size, they got athleticism, but watching watching Harden play
Mm.
Harden ball, as and I know Rocket fans that watch our show, they just shake their head and they just say, "Yep, Harden ball, Harden ball, Harden
He's
ball."
just
You know,
ball dominant, man. He's ball
I know.
dominant.
I don't know how he can make it work with Donovan Mitchell. I really don't.
I, I mean, he takes a lot of he does pass. He does have decent assist numbers. I mean, it's the one thing I think people forget about Harden. Like he does take a lot of volume of shots, but I think at one point wasn't last year he was averaging almost like 8 or 9 assists a game. I can't remember what it is this year, but it's decent. That's decent. So he is shooting a lot. But if
Mm-hmm.
you think about the amount of shots he's taken and assists, it means the ball runs through him a lot no matter what. Do you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like he's not he's Mitchell needs to get touches too. So we'll see. I hope they collapse. To be honest with you, I don't want to see them win.
No,
I
I
don't want
don't
to see
think we
them.
want to see. Yeah,
But
keep them at the 4. Let's get us in the 2-3. We don't have to see them.
yeah, I don't think
I
we're
mean,
gonna.
so
I think the schedule's favorable. I think we're gonna be fine. To be honest with
right.
you.
But I mean, we got our 5. I mean, do you want to make a tweak to the starting 5?
Uh you know what, man? I don't know. I'm on the fence. I really am on the fence. I mean, I feel like we've already proven we could do with this starting five. We've already proven we can do it.
Right.
So I feel like we run with it until it's not working, right?
Hmm.
Like uh, you can always throw in Mitchell Robinson if you needed to and
Yeah.
play big. You can always do that.
Hmm.
He's been a starter at one point. So worst case scenario, if they tweak the starting five, maybe you have Cat and Robinson play side by side and somehow get some big down there, get some rebound and help out with the defensive inefficiencies of Cat. But I don't know. Maybe Diawara gets in there. I don't know. I mean, I think I want to see the starting five win because I like the starting five as is. I don't want to change it. But if you got to do it, you got to do it. But I don't
Yeah.
think so, not yet.
I really don't feel like Robinson and Cat starting the game is a good idea just because of foul trouble, and you don't
Definitely.
have a lot of bigs coming off the bench. So I feel like you got to spread their minutes out. You kind of got
It's
to
a good
make
point.
the first quarter kind of give them separation. If you put them together in the second, third quarter, which they've done in the past, that's fine. But you got to spread their minutes out and kind of it's a long 48 minutes to get through with these guys with six fouls. So I feel like they want to spread them out. But to your point, I want to roll with this starting five of Brunson, Hart, Bridges, Ananobi, and Cat. That's your five. I want Dara off the bench first. I think your first guard has to be Landry.
Yep.
And then you go Robinson's your first big off the bench. Then you go to Grand Theft Auto, and then you go from there, right? I think that's I mean, do you? I think they should go about 10 deep in the playoffs. I think that would be I think that would be ideal. I mean, I think that tenth
Well,
guy
we're also
is
forgetting
probably
McBride.
I don't know.
McBride might come back. Oh,
Okay, so talk to me about that real quick. Do you really think McBride's gonna come back?
I don't know, man. Hernia surgery is what he had. So, I mean, it depends on how serious it is. A hernia, they didn't
Mhm.
say where the hernia was, man. Hernia could be in your stomach. It could be anywhere. Right? I don't know. If
Mhm.
it's in his groin area, I don't know what the recovery time is, something like that, but I'm not
Right.
sure. I want him to come back. He was a good spark off the bench and good firepower off the bench. So I think like if he can come back, but I don't
Oh,
know if
he
they're
was a
going to
great. I
risk it.
love him.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna risk it though, because Sham is playing really well. So I don't think they're gonna risk it if he's not 100%, unless they
Mhm.
have to. So I mean, there's always that option if he is healthy, but
I mean,
I don't know.
I absolutely love him. Right.
Definitely. I
I
mean,
love him. I really think we're a better team with him. But to me, I think the tenth guy is Clarkson, and I think he has to play. I think he does give you a spark. What he lacks in defense, he gives you offense off the bench because I feel like the offense can stall, especially when Brunson goes out of the game. The offense stalls. It gets a little stagnant. It gets harder for us to score points. We get a lot of stupid turnovers. We can't get into the offense. We can't figure out ways to get Cat the ball. Like I don't understand why we can't figure out ways to get Cat the ball in the spot, even with Brunson on or off the court, especially when he's off the court. We just can't figure out how to get him into a groove. I feel like he does that stupid drive where he draws a foul and like, oh my god,
he
like
flops all over the
wow.
place.
So
He
like,
flops all over the
I don't know
place.
what we're doing with him.
I mean, he's already
I
said
mean,
multiple
it's
times
it's
this
crazy.
season.
So hopefully, like,
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Barry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I was saying he's already said multiple times this season that he doesn't know where he's
now you're
supposed to
good.
be, basically. So I don't know. I don't know.
Who says that? Seriously? We're like 14 games left this year. Who says that? I mean,
And he said what? I think he
unbelievable.
said it
But
like
yeah,
last month.
I mean, we got to get him the ball. Yeah, but this is what I mean. Like, it's March, man. Like, what are we talking about here? But to me, that's your 10. You go with them. If you need a spark, another guy, you probably get Shohan. If you need defense, you need some offense, some quick hitters. Maybe you go with Kolek, and then that's it, right? Those are your 12,
Yep.
and then, but really the 10 guys, those are the guys who are going to get you to the dance. And we got to get started. The Warriors game. I'm mad we had to, like I said, we're mad we have to fight so hard, but it's a win. A win's a win. I don't care about the spread. That's for Vegas. They lost their money. I don't care. We got to get another game to get right against the Pacers. Not gonna be easy because they like to play up against us. Um, they almost beat us last time we played them, but they just could not hit shots down the
Yep.
stretch. They just were breaking everything. So if they were hitting shots, they would have beat us. But get that game going and get off and get going in the right direction. We're home. Got some home cooked meals, so let's do that. And I'm good with that. So anything you want to add to that, Joe? Is we it feels like it's a little cloudy, but it is still orange and blue skies out here, right, Joe?
That is the best way to put it, man. It does feel like there's some clouds. It does, but hopefully the sun peeks through. I think we'll be all right. I'm going to keep positive. Got an easy stretch here coming up. If we do what we got to do, win where we have to win, I think we'll be good going to the playoffs. So I'm going to remain optimistic with that.
Yeah, like we didn't fall back to the four. I think
No.
we staved off that disaster. We're right where we need to be. We're in striking distance, one game behind Boston. We can make a move on them. I think we're the better team. We still have one more game against them to prove it. With Tatum back, we still own you. Last year wasn't a fluke. We've beaten you every game this year. We're still better than you. So, I like that. I like our odds this year. But listen, I'm good. I was a little upset. I was a little depressed. Like I said, it was a little cloudy out there, rainy days. If shout out to Raekwon the Chef, Wu Tang, rainy days. You know what I mean? But um, we're here. It's still orange and blue skies. We're gonna do this thing. So Joe, thank you so much. The 2-man weave. We just did the pick and roll. We didn't have a 3-man weave. Shout out to Anthony. We said we just did the pick and pop because I can't roll all the way to the basket. I can't. My bag. I can't get out. So it's like a pick and pop. You know what I mean? She's that lazy J. But I don't set a strong stream for you. I can't set a strong stream, but I get that. I'll slip it to my spot and get the jumper. But thank you so much for doing the show with me, brother.
No problem, man. Always a pleasure. Thank you for having me. Glad to talk Knicks. Glad to talk with you. Catch you later.
Absolutely. We'll be back before I probably will do another one. We'll do another show, most likely, definitely next month, probably just before the playoffs. We'll probably do that, previewing the first round series because we are going to the playoffs. I don't know about that launch pad. I don't know what they're doing over there. I don't know what they're doing, but we getting busy over here. No, I'm kidding. But thank you everybody. It's the villain. We repping hard out here, repping the executives view, serious, the executives view. I apologize. I'm sorry. He's gonna edit this part out. He's so pissed at me. You know what I mean? Like I can feel that I felt the heat coming on me. But we're doing the executives view. We got a show tomorrow night, Total Sports Podcast. It's gonna be a lot of fun doing that, talking college basketball. My boy Seth, Seth, shout out to my boy Seth. He's got a bracket. If you want information, Joe T, I got you. We'll send you the link. You can do that bracket, fill it out. But we're gonna do the bracket there, talking a little college basketball, obviously talk a little NBA, little World Series. I'm not sure I said World Series, World Baseball Classic. That might be replacing the World Series. I think there's a little bit more juice in the WBC than the World Series. I mean that part, but we'll talk about that and obviously a little bit of NFL. Jets made a trade. Interesting stuff there, but listen, we'll talk to you guys again tomorrow. We got backstage business, a lot to talk about there. Wrestling's heating up for WrestleMania, so we're in the WrestleMania season. But I don't do this alone. I got a lot of good people with me. We'll be on that show tomorrow, and we're gonna be on it Wednesday. But until then, it's orange and blue skies, baby. We gotta end it on the positive. We coming, baby. It's the Knicks, baby. We coming. We coming for that. We out. Peace.